Many people have asked me, how do you choose a good roofer? Maybe it's your time to buy a roof in the near future, or maybe you've heard horror stories of your neighbors or your parents having a bad roof. I'm gonna give you a couple tips of how to find the best roofer for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to choose a right roofer. I'm going to give you some tips that are going to include how to make sure that the roofer has the right insurance and licenses. I'm going to teach you how to read reviews. I'm going to teach you how to check references, the importance of licenses, and how to know whether your roofer has the right licenses and insurance. And I'll also give you a tip that you probably wouldn't have thought about. Let's go ahead and get started. One of the important things to look for in a roofer is making sure that they have the proper insurance and license requirements in your area. So each city in the United States has different aspects of roofing that are important to them. So in South Florida, we worry about hurricanes, and in the north, they worry about the snow. The local building codes have designed the codes so that the roofs are protected depending on the area you live in. So the importance of southern home in South Florida, where they're worried about hurricanes, is going to be designed very different than a house in the north that is often just dealing with snow and the issues that they deal with in their area. So since the codes are different in each area, it's important to engage into a contract with a licensed roofer in your area. The reason is a roofer may have been trained in a different area of the country where the codes are different on how to design and build your house. So when they come to your area, they may not know the local codes and what's most important for a house in your area. A roofer that was trained in New York, and then they come and do a roof on your house in South Florida, and the code is completely different, and they're not going to be meeting the criteria that the local building department has and the local codes have determined is the best type of roof repair for your area. Often one of the best ways of finding a roofer in your area is to go to a local roofing association. The local roofing associations are going to know which roofers are qualified to do the proper work for the type of roof that you have in your area. There are several different types of insurance that you need to think about when you are choosing your roofer. And often roofers will say they're licensed and insured, but there's lots of different types of insurances. It's important to make sure that your roofer has general liability insurance. To make sure that your roofer has a proper licensing required to do roofing in your state, often you can go to the state sites. In Florida, you would go to myfloridalicense.com and you can check licensings for each company and each roofer. The easiest way to check to see whether your roofer has the proper insurances is to ask to be a certificate holder for their insurance. They can provide you a certificate of insurance that has your name and address directly on the certificate. How long a roofer's been in business is also important when deciding the right roofer for you. Somebody that has the experience of a year is going to be very different than somebody that's been in your local area for over 10 years. I recommend finding a roofer that's been doing business in your area for a minimum of 5 to 10 years. Everybody knows about reviews and how important they are. Well, it's no different in the roofing world. When you Google the different roofing companies that are in your area, you'll notice that some have more reviews than others. And it's important to not just look at the stars of how many ratings they have, but how many reviews they have. When you look through the reviews, you're going to see lots of different things. Somebody that only has 5 reviews is probably not going to be as credible as somebody that has hundreds of reviews. You can often tell by the response that's left on the review. When a roofer's been in business for a long time, they're bound to have a couple negative reviews on there. But looking through the responses will often let you know whether the problem was fixed and the customer's happy, or whether it was really a valid bad review in the beginning. Sometimes people are just having a bad day and leave a bad review. So choosing 2 to 3 reputable roofers is going to be enough for you to make a decision. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to shop around, but just realize that all the roofers that you have come to your house are going to probably go up on the roof and be walking around looking for the damage, which may be causing more damage. If you're enjoying these tips, make sure you give us a like. In your area, there's going to be common themes of types of roof. A good roofer will be able to sit down and go over the different options that are available for your roof. You may have options of shingle, or in your area, you may have options of metal or tile. Have your roofer explain the different systems and see what the best options for you are. One of the best ways to know if your roofer is valid is go to his office. You'd be surprised how many roofers work outside of their home, or when you Google their address, it's just a UPS box. It's super important to go to the office and meet the team and get familiar with the people that would be doing this project with you. Asking for references on projects that have been done in your area are a great way to see the type of projects and the type of company that you're hiring. Finding out how a job that didn't start off right ended is also important. Ask your roofer for a bad reference and talk to the customer to see whether they ended up being a happy customer at the end. I hope you enjoyed some of these tips and found it really helpful for when it's time for you to choose your roofer. Make sure you check out this video on how much it's going to cost to do a repair or a re-roof on your home.